Straight and find a seat. No, good idea, Julie.
Thank you.
No, you don't need to. We'll fill you in on it next week. We'll tell you all the exciting parts. There we go. They'll be just rude, Carol. Hi.
I'll unplug it and stand up singing.
Okay, middle row, please.
Yeah. We are pretty quiet. Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Lisa. Tutti Choir did a great concert at the Fringe in March. We talked about the disability pride flag. Green represents deaf people, blind people and those with sensory processing differences who face barriers around sensory experiences. This next song is by a neurodiverse UK band called the Fish Police.
Yeah. Go. I got the smell in my skin, in my clothes. It follows me where I go, because when I go. I found the smell, it's so sweet, don't you know? Sometimes it starts much too much. The C-O. I use my cocoa butter only on my hands. It must make it dry. I get it in between my fingers and my thumbs. In the
close your eyes. Let me tell you now, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes every time. Just a little green, raise your hands to the sky. It will close your eyes. Go, 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 go. Yeah, yeah, no, no, no. Oh. Go. I wanna taste it. I wanna taste it on my mouth, on my tongue. The ch-ch-ch-ch-ch-ch is coming inside. I can hear it. It's only good sticking around in my tongue. So when I use it, I want to use it on my fingers and my thumbs. My fingers and my thumbs. I use my cocoa butter on my hands. In my skinny sky. I get it in between my fingers and my thumbs. It will bust your eyes. You tell you now, it will bust your eyes. It will bust your eyes. Bust your eyes every time. Just a little dream, raise your hands in the skies. It will bust your eyes. Let me go. To the cocoa butter. Let me see you, let me see you. It's in your hands now. Let me see you, let me see you. To the cocoa butter. Let me see you, let me see you. It's in your hands now. Let me see you, let me see you. To the cocoa butter.
The white in the flag represents the invisible impairment. The hidden conditions that are not seen. If you know the next song, please sing along.
Someone needs someone to save me. It's all about the good. God way of driving me crazy. I need somebody to hear, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, it's never the same. I guess I'm not enough to pay, and don't talk to me. Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here. I'm getting through it all. My God, I was everybody used to be someone you love, someone you love, someone you love. I was everybody used to be someone you love. Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get through it all. I'm not down, and you pull the rug. I was everybody used to be someone you love. Going under and this time I feel there's no one to turn to. It's all about the way of love and I'll be sleeping without you. I need somebody to know, somebody to feel, somebody to have, to know how it feels. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you help me say, you're on the day, please, into my fall. And you're not here to get me through it all. I let you down, and you pull the rug. I was getting used to being someone you love. And I sometimes I fall into your arms. Cause every time babies, it's a nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let you down, and then you love. I was very kind of used to being someone you love. Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let you down, for the love. It's getting kind of used to being someone you love. Down, for the love. It's getting kind of used to being someone you love. Someone you love. Someone you love. I was getting kind of used to being someone you love. Hi, my name is Megan. We love songs about empowerment, respect, and flying your flag. The black background of the flag represents the two sides of disability pride movement. One side acknowledges the oppression of ableism, and the other honors those who have gone before us. The next song is a anthem for the disability pride flag, How It Is. Please watch out for the man of the hour, Mr. Dan Eichner. Getting ready to go. Getting ready to go. My hands are steady. It's time to put on the show. It's my bring the list to tell you how it is. Let me show you some more. Let me show you some more. To tell you how I feel. What are we ready for? Let me tell you now. RESPECT. That's how it should be. Everybody, we're talking inclusivity. Politics is fine. People wanna belong. When you find your tribe, you're gonna be strong. I wanna say it out loud to every face in the crowd. Because we gotta be there when you say it out loud together. RESPECT. That's how it should be. Everybody, we're talking inclusivity. Politics is fine. People wanna belong. When you find your pride, you gotta be strong. Take this far. People wanna belong. Be strong. What's that? What's that? What's that? That's how it should be. Everybody, talking inclusivity.
Oh, hi everyone! Give it up for the tutti. Just gonna have a 1 minute to vamos.
What's follows?
Get out.
What's she said?
No, sorry, I just lost you. Hey, I'm sorry.
That's what I was really having back when I lived in the house. And then some of the blue actually was
I really had that when we first got the old heritage place. I used to heat water on the top of the roof. We got the old church, so it's from 1920.
Got it.
Yeah, and I have an official apology from Bronwyn Roberts. Who is out of town. Yeah, it's not a big had a few million. He was going to come and train like this morning. It's funny looking at that row of seats. It's like, oh, it's shocking. They were going for the Jesus. I think it's open. Jenna, were you staying for the meeting?
Yes, I am.
I think your
Right here.
bride's here, but they might be able to stay as well.
Yeah.
Are you using this? Is that position good? Oh, hello, people on the teams. That was Carol. Young.
Yeah, if you go.
Might get started, but before we do, can we please give the amazing Tutti Choir another round of applause? Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tutti Arts AGM for 2025. We will begin the meeting with our regular acknowledgement of country. At Tutti Arts, we acknowledge the traditional owners of the place now called South Australia and all First Peoples living and working on this land. We celebrate the history and contemporary creativity of the world's oldest living culture and pay respects to elders past and present.
And emerging.
We acknowledge Kaurna, Peramangk and Nudgeri peoples on whose lands our events and activities are imagined, planned and held. This always was and always will be Aboriginal land.
Amen.
My name is Beth Neat and I am the chair of Tutti Arts and I'm delighted to be chairing my third AGM in a row, third time lucky, I think. Every year I get to meet more artists and more staff and more families and more supporters of Tutti and learn more about the incredible work of Tutti Arts. I love Tutti Arts and I'm a very proud disability ally. Thank you for my new t-shirt. I come to Tutti Arts on Saturday mornings with my daughter Nell. She goes to TKY and lately she's been bringing her sewing machine to TKY and been experimenting with textile art.
Oh, cool.
And also making a lot of very cute dog toys.
Oh, cool.
Wow. At the AGM, you're going to hear a report from me and a report from our treasurer, Sean.
Yep.
And reports from Linda and Gail.
Yep.
We also need to appoint an auditor and to elect members to the Tutti board. So some housekeeping when we begin. The bathrooms are just outside the doors here. In the event of a fire, please exit through the doors.
Yep.
And also follow the instructions of staff. And a little reminder that if you haven't already signed in, can you please make sure that you sign in now or at the end of the AGM so that we make sure that your attendance is recorded for our minutes. And if you're on Teams and joining us online, please write your name in the chat so we make sure that your attendance is recorded. So far, we have received the following apologies for tonight's AGM, and I know there's some updates that we've just received, but we had the Dodds family, Lorcan, Sandra and Jimmy Hopper, Fiona Kerr, Shah and Helen Fernando,
James, Greg and Heather Bull, Alex and Susan Hill. And if there are any further apologies, contact info@tutti.org.au or advise the Tutti staff. So the first thing that we have to do on our agenda tonight is the minutes of the last AGM need to be approved. So the last AGM was held on Wednesday, the 21st of May, 2025.
True.
And the board has reviewed the minutes and recommended that they be confirmed as a true record at this AGM. Were there any comments or amendments from anyone about last year's minutes, which was circulated to everyone prior to the meeting? No? Then would someone care to move that the minutes of the AGM held on the 21st of May, 2025 be confirmed as a correct
Confirmed.
record? Thank you very much. Can you say your name?
Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle. Will someone second the motion and say your name?
Andy.
Thank you, Andy. Is there any discussion on the minutes?
No.
No. Then all those in favour of the motion to confirm the minutes say aye.
Aye.
All those against say no. The ayes have it. I declare the motion carried.
Good.
Thank you very much. We move on to the next agenda item, which is business arising from the minutes.
Yep.
I'm not aware of any business arising from the minutes. Does anyone have anything they want to raise from last year's AGM?
No.
No? Then we can move straight on to the next agenda item, which is the chairperson's report. So on behalf of the board, I'm very proud to be representing Tutti as the chairperson of the Tutti Arts Board. We have some other board members here in the room with us, Sean and Andrew, and we have quite a few board members joining us online. The annual general meeting is a really important moment for the board to report back to you, the Tutti Arts community, and we're going to talk about the achievements and the things that Tutti's done really well in 2025, and we're also going to talk about some of the challenges. But most importantly, the AGM brings us together to thank everyone for their hard work and their creativity and their commitment over the past year. And 2025 was a year where Tutti Arts stepped forward with pride, confidence and ambition. Across visual arts, dance, choir, acting, screen, music and radio, learning disabled and neurodivergent artists created, experimented, took risks, collaborated, shared and imagined. Tutti's disability-led collectives continued to smash stereotypes and grow recognition of disability arts.
That's good.
Tutti artists and disability-led collectives are building skills, gaining confidence, reaching audiences, creating bold new work, performing on stages, presenting on the screen, telling stories, winning and getting nominated for art prizes and awards, participating in residencies, running workshops, selling artwork, earning money from their art, and belonging to a recognised artistic community, the Tutti Arts community.
Good.
Outside of my role on the board, I work in the arts, and wherever I go, people tell me just how much they love Tutti Arts and how much they love Tutti artists. People are blown away by Tutti all the time, and through Tutti, people discover and appreciate the astonishing art of learning disabled and neurodivergent artists. Many other artists who are non-disabled are watching the work that Tutti artists are creating, and people say to me all the time, "Have you seen this work?" And I say, "Yeah, I know. This work is extraordinary, and Tutti artists are amazing, fantastic artists." So many wonderful things have happened in 2025, and we're going to hear from Gail about some of those highlights. And now an update from the Tutti board. So the Tutti board is an important part of Tutti's governance. Everyone on the board brings different skills and lots of experience, and everyone cares very deeply about Tutti Arts. We're all volunteers, and I want to sincerely thank my fellow board members for everything they give and do for the board and for Tutti. Tonight, there are 3 board members standing for re-election, and Linda will help us with the voting soon. An important role of the board is that we make sure Tutti is carefully managed and that we are compliant with all of our obligations. The board also looks over the finances to make sure that Tutti can be sustainable into the future and keep doing our great work. We had some great results, but like many other arts organisations and other disability service providers, last year Tutti experienced some financial pressures. In 2025, Tutti ended the year with a budget shortfall, and this was the 2nd year in a row. And our Treasurer, Sean, is going to give us a presentation to talk about the areas where we had that shortfall. Another challenge is the NDIS environment. We are looking closely at the changes to the NDIS to understand how this could impact NDIS plans and Tutti. Linda is going to talk through some of those changes in her report. An area where we had amazing growth in 2025 was in philanthropy. We continue to grow the number of supporters and the number of people who care about Tutti and want to see us thrive and succeed. We had 2 incredible donor events, an exhibition at Dust Studio and another at Denton's, as well as a really successful end-of-year fundraising campaign. We know that we have a great story to tell and that we can reach even more donors and supporters. So a bit later on, we're going to share the Disabled and Unstoppable campaign and ask for you to help us to spread the word. Tutti would not be able to achieve its important work without the ongoing support of many funding partners and donors, and we're so grateful. But Tutti's greatest strength is this community, the Tutti Arts community.
Amen.
I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone who makes Tutti's work possible, impactful and extraordinary. Thank you to the board. Thank you to Linda and Gail and the senior leadership team. Thank you to all the coordinators and all the staff. Thank you to our volunteers, our families, our donors, our supporters and friends. Thank you for your commitment, professionalism, energy, care and generosity. But the biggest thanks of all goes to you, the Tutti artists, across every site and across every program. Thank you for the vital contribution you're making to South Australian arts and culture and for making the world more vivid and more colourful for all of us. Art is really important. Art is really powerful, and Tutti artists are unstoppable. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Beth. And now I would wondered if there was someone who'd like to recommend that we accept Beth's report. Carol would like to do that.
Second.
Thank you, Carol. And
Second.
that would like to be seconded by Michelle.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
So now, our Treasurer, Sean Whelan, will present his report for 2025. The financial reports have been shared with members and they've also been approved by the board and by Tutti's auditors, Bentley's. Handing over to you, Sean.
Thank you, Beth. Okay, so it's my task this evening to report on the financial year ended the 31st of December 2025. So as Beth gave a bit of an introduction, it was a challenging year for Tutti.
Yes, it certainly was.
So what I'm going to do first of all is report on what we call the statement of profit and loss or other comprehensive income. So this report basically details our income minus expenses and then basically gives us for the end result. So as that report up there shows, the operating result for the year ended 31 December 2025 was a deficit of 178,706.
Wow.
Compared with a deficit of 84,298 for the prior year. So while revenue continues to grow, the deficit results reflect structural cost pressures that have outpaced income growth, particularly with Tutti's program delivery. So just looking at the financial performance overview, I'm just going to focus on a couple of key things. So for the year ended 31 December 2025, total revenue and other income increased to 3.25 million compared to 3.05 million for the previous year.
Yep.
So an increase of approximately 205,000. So this growth was primarily driven by participation fees of 2.37 million, which is continuing to be Tutti's largest income source. Net grant income of 742,879, reflecting increased government and multi-year funding. And then as Beth touched on before, we've had some excellent growth in donations and sponsorship, which is now 84,284, representing continued strengthening of our philanthropic support. So now expenses. So notwithstanding this, total expenses increased to 3.43 million last year compared to 3.13 million the year before, which is an increase of approximately 300,000. The gap between revenue growth and expense growth is primarily driven as a primary driver of our increased deficit. So we'll now just focus on some of those reasons. So the key drivers of the loss. So first of all, I'll just touch on this one. So growth in employee-related costs. Employee benefits expense rose to 2.9 million compared to 2.56 million for the previous year. And this represents the most significant cost driver and accounting for the majority of total expenditure. This increase reflects expansion in program delivery and participation support, higher wage costs associated with sector conditions and award changes, and increased superannuation obligations for employees. Tutti's cost pressures are structural in nature and directly linked to delivering NDIS-funded services, where approximately 80% of creative wages and all support costs relate to program delivery. The second reason is slowing growth in earned income, so NDIS fees. So participation fee growth continued, but at a slower, significantly slower rate in 2025. This reflects tightening pricing conditions under the NDIS, reduced margin per participant, and limiting the organisation's capacity to absorb rising salary costs. Thirdly, mismatch between revenue structure and cost base. While grant income increased, particularly through the commencement of multi-year funding from Creative Australia, these funds are subject to specific program purposes and do not fully offset the broader increase of operating costs. At the same time, becoming a multi-year funded organisation has reduced reliance on project-based grants, changing the overall funding profile without increasing flexibility in covering core cost increases. And lastly, relatively fixed overhead and non-cash costs. So depreciation remains significant last year at 104,233 and represents an ongoing non-cash cost linked to previous capital investment and leasing requirements. So in summary, the 2025 deficit is not the result of declining revenue, but rather the consequences of strong growth in workforce and program delivery costs, slowing growth and pricing constraints in earned NDIS income, and structural funding mismatch where income growth has not kept pace with the cost of running our business. So last of all, I just would like to touch on our statement of financial position, which is effectively where we start with respect to our assets and liabilities as at the 31st of December 2025. So as a consequence of the loss, Tutti's balance sheet has weakened over the year ended 31 December 2025, with net assets declining from 336,000 to 185, from 136 to 385,000, reflecting a reduction in our financial capacity. So that's the very last line of that balance sheet.
Don't even prove it.
Tutti's liquidity remains broadly stable, with our current assets at $1 million, which is not too dissimilar to the year before.
Yep.
Though cash has decreased slightly and our receivables have reduced, but that's partly offset by the growth in Tutti's investment portfolio, which is now at 465,000. Non-current assets fell due to depreciation of property, plant and equipment, and that's the item there, 118,000 compared to 218,000 the year before. The key adverse movements is in liabilities, with current liabilities increasing to 885,000, and that was 794,000 the year before, driven primarily by higher grants received in advance and other payables, indicating increased short-term obligations. Overall, while liquidity is adequate, the balance sheet shows increased leverage and reduced equity, signalling a weaker financial position and tighter headroom. So to summarise, Tutti remains financially viable with cash reserves of 468,405 and continued government funding support. Looking forward, maintaining stability will require continued focus on cost discipline and workforce planning, optimising program delivery within NDIS pricing constraints, and delivering flexible income sources to better support core operations. So yeah, in summary, it was a tough year, but looking forward, we've got some solutions we're working on, and we're more than confident we will return tutti to a surplus. And I'd just like to also thank this opportunity to extend a special thank you to the finance team, whose work extremely difficult in putting all our monthly information together and making sure that we always balance and we're in a good, obviously healthy financial position. And also extend that support and thank you to Linda as well, who also plays a key part. And that's my report.
Wow.
Any questions from anyone?
Jenna?
Aye.
Aye. I've put my hand up.
Okay.
I think Jenna would like to be the person that I
Okay.
would recommend.
Sure.
Of the treasurer's report being
Okay, that's fantastic. So thank you for that really update, Dawn, and there are no specific questions?
No.
So then we will ask that we adopt the financial report, and Jenna has indicated that she would like to move the motion. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you very much. Would someone like to second the motion? Thank you so much. Would you say your name?
Michelle?
Thank you, Michelle. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
All those against say no. The ayes have it. We can say that the financial report has been
Moved.
carried. Thank you very much. And now we will go to the appointment of the auditor. So Bentley's was appointed the auditor for last year, and to maintain continuity, especially with the financial result that we've just heard about, the board's recommendation is that Bentley's be reappointed as auditor for 2026. Would someone care to move the motion and please
Move.
say your name?
Michelle?
Thank you, Michelle.
Moved.
Would someone like to second the motion and please say your name?
Julian.
Thank you, Julian. Put it to a vote. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
All those against say no. I declare the motion to appoint Bentley's as auditor for 2026 carried. Thank you very much, everybody. And now we'll move to some reports. We've made a small change to our running order, so we're going to hear from Gail first.
Yep.
Gail will now present the Creative Director's report.
Look at us looking after
I
you.
know. I'm very lucky.
We're like state managers. Can't help ourselves.
I think that's okay, everyone.
At tutti, our vision is to see learning disabled and neurodivergent people seize their rightful place at the centre of arts and culture. And our purpose is to shine the light on the astonishing art of learning disabled and neurodivergent people. We value diversity, authenticity, imagination, experimentation, connection, and impact. On the slide now, you see our first goal, and that goal is at tutti, we are working to build our capacity to offer creative pathways for learning disabled and neurodivergent people. In 2025, tutti continued to deliver a suite of studio programs in dance, visual arts, music, screen, choirs, acting, arts, and technology. The studio programs offer learning disabled and neurodivergent people skills development and pathways into the arts, from creative discovery to professional practice. Programs in all art forms are developed within a framework that continually exposes artists to new experiences and opportunities. The next slide, I want to talk a little bit about the collaboration and partnerships, just some of what we've done this year. And these collaboration and partnerships are very important to tutti, so that we're working across the sector with people. The first one I'd like to talk about is the Final Frontier. And This was inspired by a powerful quote from Bill Shorten: "Disability is the final frontier of human rights." And he said that just before, not long before we got the NDIS. This is a bold new work, and it's bringing disabled and non-disabled artists together to reimagine the Charter of Human Rights through a major contemporary performance. In partnership with Brink Productions, we've already held 3 really dynamic creative developments over the last 2 years. And we've already seen generate a striking visual and deeply expressive performance material. Director Chris Drummond and the ensemble explore how we move through and are shaped by complex systems. With another development ahead, with only a few weeks, Josh, the anticipation is growing for this ambitious, thought-provoking work, and we will be doing a showing for potential presenters and things this year. Then there's Create Labs. We received funding for a series of creative labs. The title for that grant was Create Labs, New Perspectives and Ideas. For those that don't know, a creative lab is a space or workshop or program dedicated to fostering creativity and experimentation. Create Lab provides immersive learning experiences for tutti artists and staff. And I have to say, Create Labs was a highlight in 25 and continues to be in 26. We've just had one this week that really went on. It was great. It provides us the opportunity to work with industry leaders. In 25, they were a stagecraft workshop with vocal provocateur Carla Lippis, an audio visual jam with digital alchemist Dave Court, and a DIY beach towel design workshop with design and colour anarchist Frida Las Vegas. And looking at, we had to delay an exhibition, but you will see an exhibition of those designs. And these are a start of our design studio that we really want. Next, I want to go on to Technically Brilliant. Technically Brilliant is a creative program at our Barossa Hub.
Oh, cool.
The program uses art and technology to create images, stories, and soundscapes. Participants have been developing skills in digital drawing, animation, augmented reality, AR, virtual reality, VR, and mixed reality, MR. In 2025, guest artists Dave Cord and Liam Somerville led the program. The aim of this program is to enable artists to build skills for creative and technology-based careers, and it's a very exciting program. Okay, next we're just going to talk about Goal 2 and some of the exciting things under Goal 2 that happened in 25. So our Goal 2 for tutti is we have the goal to be recognised as leaders in producing the creative works of learning disabled and neurodivergent artists. We make work that is representative of, led by and responsive to the interests of learning disabled and neurodivergent people.
Okay.
Some of our creative highlights was we had a year of extraordinary reach. Tutti delivered an expansive program of visual arts and events across 2025, showcasing bold, diverse creative voices. Celebrating artistic excellence, Danielle Zokic received the 2025 Dawn Slade Ball Award.
Wow.
And Danielle is from our Port Adelaide studio and has an exhibition coming up very soon, which we'll hear more about from Linda. And Lorraine Nedler was awarded a highly commended for her outstanding work, and she's from our Barossa studio. So well done to both those studios. Recognition. Lewis Constantines, Fireman Sam was shortlisted for the 2025 Gallery M Contemporary Art
Oh,
Prize.
wow.
And he was awarded the 2D Merit Prize, attracting a strong collector interest, following a feature also in SA Life magazine. I just need to say, we've got an email, actually, just after work hours today, the fantastic article that was in SA Life magazine. The writer of that article has emailed us today to say that she's up for an award
Oh, wow.
for that article.
Brilliant.
But we will send you out more information about that. She's very chuffed, and so are we. And I'm sure Lewis will be as well. But I think that's gone to him today as well. Career defining milestones. Jeffrey Brown, who came to us after he retired from supported employment, he secured his first Create SA Richard Llewellyn Deaf and Disabled grant for a solo exhibition.
Oh, wow.
And he also presented at the Sala Slide Night.
Cool.
He's very prolific, amazing artist. And also, that's where he met Frida, Las Vegas. He was very keen to come and work with Tutti. And our chair of the board encouraged that. And it happened. So thank you. Music with impact. Quirkers out of this quirky world ranked 19th in 3D Radio's top 93+7 releases of 2025.
That is cool.
And again, music with impact. The Rat is Tutti's radio program. Will runner-up for a Dolby Award for Best Interview.
Oh, cool.
And for those who don't know, the Dolby Awards celebrate excellence in community radio broadcasting. And you can listen to them on 3D radio. On the national stage, the Sisters of Invention perform sold-out shows at Brisbane's Undercover Artists Festival. The Undercover Artists Festival is a disability-led festival that highlights the work of deaf and disabled artists. And I have to say, those sisters really are sassy, unapologetic, and iconic. Then we have an international collaboration at Fuji. You might remember last time that Lewis went to Korea. Well, in 2025, we had an artist come from Korea to Tutti. And that artist was Yuan Chin. His English name is Harry. And he came and worked alongside Lewis. They were working in the studios together, but they also had an outcome, an exhibition of the work they've done, including the work Lewis had done in Seoul. And I have to say, and we didn't show it to you tonight, but there is Dave Court actually took their work and put it together and made this striking animation, which was a real highlight to show the collaboration. Now, some performance highlights. Mass Movement brought over 1,000 dancers, including 8 Tutti artists, together in a powerful Adelaide Festival opening. It was truly amazing. And we've got one of those performers in the room again. I keep seeing Josh, and Josh performed in that. And then while another dance project, where the land meets the ocean, transformed Brighton Jetty into a moving, culturally grounded reflection on our connection to the sea. The work was created in response to the algae bloom. And also Uncle Moogie came in and really worked with the artist and really, what's the word? You know, it felt so connected because of him culturally to the land. And that was beautiful. Okay, going on, I want to talk to you about Zigzag Lab. And there will be a video playing without sound, so hopefully give you a bit of an idea. So Zigzag Lab is a new arts and technology space for learning disabled and neurodivergent artists. Tutti is igniting a bold new frontier where arts and technology collide. And this is driven by a vision rooted in digital justice. So digital justice is a principle that means fair and equal access to digital opportunities for everyone. We are never getting left behind again, guys, in the arts. It's also about breaking barriers and powering fearless experimentation. At its core, Zigzag Lab is an electrifying space where learning disabled neurodivergent artists, guided by creative technologist Jacob Logos, dive into cutting-edge tools, build immersive worlds, and put creativity to new limits. It's more than a studio, it's a revolution, championing radical inclusion, unleashing creative power, and redefining who gets to shape the future of the arts and how. I just want to tell you, we do meetings with the artists a few times a year, and I just want to give you some stats, which are coming up on the screen. 96% said they feel they can be themselves at Tutti. 96% of artists said they get help and feedback from Tutti staff. So the Tutti staff that are in the room, that for you as well. 95% of artists feel comfortable trying new things. That is so exciting. I find that really exciting. And 94% believe they have improved their artistic skills in the last year. Sorry. I really want to say a huge congratulations to all the Tutti artists, staff, collaborators, partners, and to everyone who helped power our 44 plus performances, appearances, workshops and exhibitions last year. Together you have demonstrated the creativity, commitment and community spirit that defines Tutti. Your passion not only brought exceptional work to life, but also strengthened our reach, deepened our impact and affirmed the importance of disability arts practice. As we look ahead, we carry forward the momentum and will be continuing to create, connect and celebrate. Thank you for being at the heart of everything we achieve.
It's amazing to see what Tutti does. You hear about it board meeting by board meeting, but seeing it all together like that, the depth and breadth and also the depth of accomplishment. Congratulations to everybody.
And I must say that with just some highlights.
Just highlights. Amazing. So the recommendation is that the creative director's report be accepted. Would someone like to move the motion? And your name,
Michelle.
please? Thank you, Michelle. Would someone like to second that?
I'd like to second first.
We're going to start.
We've just, that's.
Sorry, it's my phone.
Oh, okay.
You'd like to second that, Jenna?
Yes.
Thank you. So the creative director's report is, the motion is carried. Thank you so much. And now Gail's going to share where we can find out more information.
Hold on a minute. You can see our new annual report.
Yay!
With artwork from Megan Long on the cover.
Is it out now?
Yeah, so
Sorry, I'm not sorry to say.
no, that's all right. So it's already available online.
Oh,
You know, and so it's been released and it's ready to explore. It's on the website and we've got some hard copies here tonight.
good.
So I want to quickly go like this. Just got to flick.
Yep.
Who's a good flicker, Beth? I need Beth to flick up because my hands. Could you just flick through that just for everybody? See like a model?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Beth, you're amazing. Yeah. What's flicking?
So,
Isn't it?
Ellen Beans.
No, Ellen Beans.
Yeah, Ellen's been
gorgeous.
doing
Wow. So bright.
full creative reports from
Yep.
the last few years.
Last two.
Cool.
This is the third one.
And I want to show you here because I said, let's do something interactive. Yeah. It says here, look here. To see into the future. And just one more thing. We start. It says $20, but $20's crossed out, and it says everybody can do it.
Every year he wants his $20.
Right. Yeah, so
Congratulations.
Right. Thank you very much, Gail. And I'd now like to invite Linda to present the Executive Director's report. Hi everyone, I get to do it by myself this year. Normally Gail and I present together. And our reports, we're a bit of, though we haven't broken up, but we're very aware that the NDIS and changes for the NDIS are a big topic on everybody's brains at the moment. And we thought that it would be worth having a conversation about the NDIS changes and start opening up dialogue with everybody about what this might mean and how we hope to work through some of those challenges with you as we go forward for the year. So it's a little bit of a diversion from the way we normally do things, but it seems very topical and a good idea. So these NDIS changes, and what do they mean? So what is changing in the NDIS? Well, basically the government have decided that the NDIS is costing too much and it's increasing in its costs each year, and that they want to slow down the growth of that scheme.
Oh, okay.
And so what they are planning to do is to reduce the numbers of people that can access the NDIS, and they want it not to grow so fast. They're going to make some changes. Young children with autism or those with developmental delay won't be coming onto the NDIS as young children. They'll be going to a different scheme, which is called Thriving Kids. Children will need to be over 9 before they can go onto the NDIS. So that is one way that they are going to be implementing these changes. And there's a lot of concern in the community about what that might mean. But they also want to reduce overall the number of people that are on the scheme. So we're a bit concerned that there may be some people who are currently on the scheme that in the longer term won't continue to be on the scheme. We don't know this for sure, but we have had quite a bit of concern about people on the autism spectrum, particularly those that are certain diagnoses within that. Now, that being said, the other thing that the NDIS said they're going to do is to stop focusing on diagnosis, and they're going to do what they call functional capacity assessments to assess whether people are going to stay on the scheme. So we're all learning about this. I don't actually think they know how all this is going to work yet, but these are the things that have been said that are going to happen. And so this is something that we're aware of. We also know that the government is concerned that there are some providers out there that are not doing the right thing, and they want to really cut down on fraud as well. And they might be putting in new, stronger rules for providers. This might mean more paperwork and more audits for us, which, we want to do the right thing, but, the reality is that could also have that impact for us. And it might mean some stricter rules for places like Tutti in terms of how we operate. One of our big concerns is that, and if any of you saw Minister Butler talk about this at the press club in April, is that they're making particular cuts to an area called social and community participation. Now, just about everybody that comes to Tutti uses their funding from the social and community participation line. So as soon as we heard that, there were little alarm bells going off for us, thinking, wow, what does that mean for us? So they are saying at this stage that they're going to be reducing the amount of money that sits in people's plans under social and community participation. So I don't want to scare people, but I just think we have to be realistic and we have to be looking out for what's happening in your plans and what that might mean for your time at Tutti and all the other things that you do spend your social and community participation money on. Okay. So they're saying that the average budget, which overall is 31,000, will drop to 26,000. I know that people at Tutti have a very broad range of budgets. Some people have much higher than that, some have much, much lower than that. So that's just an average. And that these cuts, they say, will have an effect from October 2026. I think we're already starting to see some tightening in these spaces. Any of people who've got some new plans. Another thing that has been mentioned is that and many of you may have been in this situation where your plan's not right, you've been able to go back and get a plan review or some changes. There's only going to be extreme circumstances when you can have a plan review. So that's another concern. So it may not be as easy to go back and ask for more, basically, which is what we've been able to do in the past. So what does this mean and how might it affect you? Well, we're guessing at the moment, but we're trying to be on the front foot and we're trying to think rather than just sort of be caught out. What could this mean? It might mean for some people, if they've got less in their plan, that they might not be able to come to as many days of programs to Tutti. They might need to reduce how many days they come or how many hours they spend at Tutti. Some people might have to have a shorter day rather than a longer day. It also means that if we don't keep a really close eye on people's plans, you could run out of money. And that's something that we don't want anyone to be in that position. Another thing that, again, we're already starting to see this happen. So in the past, when people got their NDIS plan, they had a bucket of money they could use for 12 months. They got one big lump. And now they have started, and I'm not sure if any of you in this room have got these phased plans. And we were starting to see some only in 3-month lots coming out. But actually, in the last couple of weeks, we've seen some monthly plans come out. So it means you get given a certain amount of money for a month, and you've got that month to use that. But you haven't got that flexibility of, this is a big, if you're doing something special or something extra. So again, this is another way that it's going to need really close looking at. And with the people that help you with your plans, make sure that you're talking to them about that, okay? So you might not get your full budget straight out like you used to. Also, your money for the month might run out. So there's going to be providers are going to have to be pretty quick with their invoices. So people like us at Tutti, we've got to try and get our bills out to you much faster. You may have noticed that we've started to try and do that on a fortnightly basis rather than monthly. It's still taking us a little while and we want to look at our systems to try and make that faster. But that is something else from our end that we need to do. And if you run out of money, then you may need to have a little break from Tutti for a short time. So we don't want that to happen, and we want everyone to have a good plan and for us to have a plan about how to use your plan. So I guess what we want to say is let's talk about these things and don't just assume it's all going to be okay, because I think we need to make sure we're planning out your time. So one of the other things that we will be looking at is whether we need to change up any of our programs. If there's not as much demand or people can't do a full day, we'll be open to considering all of those options, because we want people to continue their time at Tutti and to have a good time with that. We need to get some better systems in place, as I said. We need to be checking in with you about your plan balances and where they're up to, so that we all make sure we're on the same page with that. We will probably be getting back to you sooner about, oh, you haven't paid that invoice yet. Is there any problem? We're going to not leave that so long. And again, that's part of us helping our systems. We're also going to investigate if there are some other registration categories we can look at. So particularly in the school leavers space, but also in the employment space. We know that social and community participation has been a target of reduction for the government. So we want to explore what possibilities there might be for those other areas as well. Okay, so what to expect next? Well, we just want to be communicating with you and talking to you about these things. I know that there are some people that are worried, and I'm not saying these things to make people worried, but so that we have good information and we can make some good decisions. We'll be having conversations, and we need to have conversations with you about your individual plan and how often you come to tutti and how many hours you're at tutti. And we want to give you support so that you can help to understand any changes if they need to happen. Creativity is not a luxury, and tutti believes that art is real work and that disabled artists deserve equal opportunities. And we don't want people to we don't want to cut the access for people, the access that you have to mentors and to our studios and to transport and all of those opportunities. So how will tutti support you? We're going to be doing some advocacy. So we're going to be working with other disability-led organisations to challenge those cuts. We're working with those groups. There are submissions that are due in on Monday that we'll be putting in because we believe in tutti and we believe that in the work of learning disabled and neurodivergent people.
Yep.
We're going to be pushing for arts to be recognised as reasonable and necessary.
Yep.
It's not a luxury item. No. It's a reasonable and necessary thing for people to have as part of their cultural lives.
True.
We want proper consultation, and as we want to be in the room to have conversations with people, and we want barriers to be removed. The other thing that we can do to support you is we can help provide you with evidence of what you're doing at tutti and why what you're doing at tutti is important. Make sure that you are contacting us when you've got a plan review coming up or anything like that. We can write up a report and we can help get some good examples of all the fantastic things that you're doing here at tutti. And most of all, please just talk to us. We want everybody to stay part of the tutti community. And if you need to adjust your program or the days or the programs that you're coming to, just talk to us about it and we will work with you so that we can find some options. Tutti was built to challenge barriers and we'll continue to do that. These changes are significant, but you're not facing them alone, and we'll advocate, adapt and stand with every artist and family through this transition. So we'll keep fighting for disabled artists to be loud and proud, to protect access to creative careers and to keep families informed and your other supports, and to continue to provide high quality creative programs. So that's my little blurb on the NDIS. I think Gail has a question. I'm scared Gail's got a question.
No, I haven't got a question. Everybody hear me? Yes, I can hear you. The Greens are really against these cuts.
The Green Party.
The party.
The politicians in the Greens.
We have talked about not being rude, but one national thing.
No, we're not talking about One Nation. No, we're talking about the Greens Party.
Greens Party. They're very angry about it and have fought, in fact, they fought to get a bit of a consultation happening. I don't think there was going to be a consultation before this legislation was passed through. Some of the legislation is pretty horrible that the minister can make all sorts of decisions. So I just want to suggest, if you go online and go to the Greens website, there is a thing where you can sign And there have been other organisations, disability organisations, giving signatures to them as well. So obviously I'm not saying you have to do this, but that is available if you just want to go and add your name to what they're doing. Yeah. That's all
I'm actually doing that.
Yeah, thanks, Sandy. So, on that somewhat somber note, I think it is also a good opportunity to share with you some information about our new campaign, which is called Disabled and Unstoppable, which will actually lead into our end of financial year fundraising push.
Okay.
And you may see some of these images starting to come through on social media. The campaign is all about supporting Tutti's artists' ambitions and wanting to create more opportunities for learning disabled and neurodivergent artists to perform and lead. You'll be seeing these images like these flooding Tutti's Facebook and Instagram posts. And as you know, every share, every like, and every comment on social media really counts. So anything that you can do to share these images, to share the messages about Tutti, to invite people to donate, we would be most grateful, because we're so proud of Tutti artists who are breaking barriers and sharing their unique voices with the world. And let's take a look at this great video of the choir.
I like singing choir because we're all united as one and no one feels left out, and we all have our own voice.
There's part of it that I really love, which is when people realise that they've got a voice, and I don't mean the singing voice, I mean just a place to be able to express yourself and be heard.
Singing singing forgiveness, explanation.
Music is a very viscerally emotional thing, and then when you add words to it, it's a very powerful form of expression.
Find it hard to talk and speak my mind. Never like the things that I would like.
Cause you're told to play.
Choir is a place where people can be heard. Choir is a place where people can have choices.
For a very, very long time, people have just assumed that disabled people are not capable of being creative.
I have always wanted us to work at Fringe because I think the opportunity for Fringe is to try and get audience who haven't seen us before.
Welcome to Gluttony. We are the Tutti Choir.
I've never done a Fringe show before, and I'm very excited and very nervous. It's really quite amazing to just be around so many people with different experiences, all sharing in loving music.
Not all of us have had straight lines in our lives. Some of us have had to really struggle to get where we are now. But I'm starting to realise that we can all become a united front.
Everyone supports each other. I mean, we also have non-disabled community members and disabled community members in the choir, and everyone's supportive of each other. So there's a very strong sense of camaraderie in the choir.
Loud and Proud is about how important it is to have disabled voices be able to tell their story and share their experiences.
And it's been something building in the choir and the organisation as well to be something quite big, because it's quite a very powerful concept, and it's something quite open and raw to offer the public.
So the message is about accepting yourself for who you are and telling the world that you shouldn't hide any part of yourself.
No one's finding you think you might be gay or different in another way or perfect just the same.
I think that's what Paddy is all about, just coming to choir and having fun and interacting with people.
Coming to Tutti and working here, it feels like you have a lot of opportunities to really expand your creative palettes.
They're always encouraging each other.
I've learned that it's not all about that one person, it's about a combined group of people.
The biggest thing I think that choir teaches is just, it's a reminder about being in the moment. You know, stand up a bit prouder and go, yeah, I got a place.
Everyone has the right to make choices. It's a basic human right.
Who come to a Tutti Choir concert. I think that's what they come away with, is just this unbridled joy from people on stage going, yeah, look at me, I'm having this great moment. We sound great. People are having a great time.
We don't need to explain ourselves, just come to a show. It's fine. I'm not going to try and convince you.
For the amazing Tutti Choir!
It's something I've always loved to do, and it's just amazing to be able to perform at Fringe. What a great video. Congratulations to the Tutti Choir. So that is, you know, a great little summary of some amazing work that actually happened in 2026. And I know we're meant to be talking about 2025, but we couldn't not give you that opportunity to see that video. And we are going to be sharing that on socials as well. It's a really good way of encapsulating what Tutti is about and the great work that happens. So excellent. Linda, would someone care to move that we adopt the Executive Director's report? Say your name, please.
Andy.
Thank you, Andy.
Second, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle. All those in favour say aye. Anyone against? Say no. No. Amazing. Thank you so much. The report is adopted. Thank you so much, Linda. Now we move to the election of board members. So Andrew Downing, Beth Neat, Dino Verenios, Anne-Marie Cohen, Becky Love and Emma Kindred are continuing as elected board members for a further year. Anne Weiberg, Sean Whelan and Fiona Kerr have completed a 2-year term, and Anne, Sean and Fiona are each eligible for re-election and have each been nominated as a member of the board for a further 2 years. The recommendation is that Anne Weiberg, Sean Whelan and Fiona Kerr be elected as members of the board of Tutti Arts for a further 2-year term. Would someone care to move the motion, and please say your name?
Carol.
Thank you, Carol.
Second it, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Anyone against say no. Then I'm very pleased to confirm the election of Tutti Arts board members Anne Weiberg, Sean Whelan and Fiona Kerr. Thank you so much. All board members are going to be invited to a meeting after this. After this, we'll have a very brief board meeting. And also, any member of Tutti is very welcome to suggest or discuss prospective board members with the chair at any time. So now we go to any other business. Thank you, Linda. Any other business is really a bit of a plug for some things that are coming up for Tutti, so we'll try and skip through these quite quickly. We have the Pieces of Memories exhibition, which is the work of Rebecca Eddington in the Barossa, and that's at the Barossa Museum. Also, that's for his part to do with history as well as local legends at Port Adelaide. This is the work of Josh Maloney, and that's on at the moment and doing well. Jackie Saunders has an exhibition opening on the 10th of June called Staying Strong, and that's going to be at the St Peters Town Hall. The wonderful Danielle Zuzuk has the winner of the Dawnslade Fall Award that Gail mentioned, Her exhibition will be at Denton's starting on the 12th of June, and that's going to be opened by the Deputy Premier and the now Arts Minister, Kyan Ma. So welcome to that. Next Heartbeat Club is coming up at Mod on July 3. So we've got that, and the tickets are already available, are they? Fantastic. We're so organised, Belinda. That's amazing. All right. Next one. Of course, our Sala, we've got a whole lot of work happening in Sala. We'll have exhibitions at Brighton, Port Adelaide and Barossa, and see Twitty's What's On page for the event details. Amazing opportunity. Festival of Voices. The group, thank God it's Friday, have been invited to perform with the Festival of Voices festival in Hobart in July. So that is going to be an amazing opportunity. And TGIF, or Thank God It's Friday, are having a little fundraiser that they're doing in association with another choir called La La Land that may share a musical director with quite doing. And that will be on Friday the 26th of June at Trinity Sessions, or the Church of the Trinities. We will be promoting that heavily very soon. And just another reminder about our Disabled and Unstoppable campaign for end of financial year. So that's what I'll finish on with other business. Good. That brings us to the end of our meeting for another year. Wow. Thank you to everyone involved in putting tonight's AGM event together, particularly to Reese, Carol, Laura, Linda and Gail, Sean. Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone who joined us in person and online. And please remember to check out the amazing World's Most Beautiful Annual Report I've ever seen, which is now available online. And I now declare the meeting closed. Thank you so much, everybody.
Hey, Belinda.
She's talking about a good house and I went, oh, we've got Beth, and we've got Beth, you've got Beth. She's so great, yeah. I know. There's, council shenanigans, of course.
Linda, I attend the Heartbeat Club every time. I love it. Yeah. So is this the one coming out? Guys.
Just become one running. Okay, you've got the right ideas and then you write compromise. And then you encourage people. Wow.
Yeah. I'm not online no more.
That's right. I got new